morning. There we go.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So I woke up later than John this morning because I didn't sleep basically most of the night.
Yeah.
And I just walked in the office and he did the cardinal sin that no man should ever do, which is to point at my cheek and let me know that I have a growth. Yes, he did. Which is a great segue into what I was thinking about last night. When I can't sleep, a lot of times I'll write emails and I'll write content, things like that. And
yeah,
really why we don't want to make them our girlfriend. Because if a girlfriend told me that I had a zit at 49 years old on my cheek, I probably would laugh. And we talk about all the reasons why I probably have it, hormones, blame it on our partner, whatever it is. But instead, I looked at you and I said, this is why I want to do the topic today.
Yeah. Well, yeah, with that look.
Y'all know the look, right?
It had a little bit of a look to it.
The look. But anyway, so hi guys.
Yeah. So what, look, we wanted to just chat a little bit because it is a funny story. And, we also share these things because they're real life and apropos. But, what are some of the reasons why you don't want your man to be your girlfriend as close as you may be with him, right? As close as you may be. And look, guys, this goes for us as well, that we don't want him to be our bud, right? So as close as you can be with your partner, right? What's the reason? Yeah. What's the impact?
Hey, Vanessa. Hi there. I see you. Again, I'm going to take this back to Rachel. It seems like all conversations can go back to her. She is a woman who really taught me about devotion to your husband. And one of the things she would always say in her Australian accent is that you do not want to go get a pedicure with your man. Like, you just don't want your man to be your best friend. And that was a good thing because she's mine, right? So that always worked out for us. But really the key is that there's something about sisterhood. There's something about being in a space where we as women can come together and just share the things that men don't know. I mean, it puts so much pressure, I think, on you guys to hold space with things that, quite frankly, you just don't care about. I mean, it doesn't mean you don't care about us. And I think that's the misnomer that if you don't know everything there is to know about, hormones or, play dates or what have you, not that men can't do play dates. I mean, it messes with the polarity there. And I think it actually is such a gift to give our partners for us to have really solid friendships that are outside of the marriage. Now, again, I'm not saying that your partner can't be your best friend and your soulmate. I definitely believe that you are that for me.
Yeah.
But I don't want to go do girly things with you.
No. And there's also, just even from the topics that, you talk to women about, I have never gone through menopause. I will never go through menopause. That is not
Have you ever had a zit on your cheek?
I have.
Yes. Well, I'm going to make sure, just so you know, so we're even, Steven, then I'm going to point it out. Yes, I am. Right before we go on. Like I didn't know. Do you think I woke up and didn't know? Anyway, so, but there's something to be said. I mean, I think all the ladies that are watching right now, how enriched you feel when you get together with your girlfriends, even in the midst of COVID, having a safe place where you can come and basically just be witnessed in all of your, all your hot mess. And I know y'all have heard John and I talk about, he fell in love with my hot mess in that video.
Which I did.
Yes, you did.
Which I did.
And hopefully you still do every day.
I still do every single morning.
There's still something to be said about having women that you can reveal and, cry and have snot bubbles and really just have a space where, you can just be.
Right.
I mean, how do you feel, I guess, after, in fact, you even encouraged me the other day to get out the house and go, and go see Amy. And I was actually really busy with work and I didn't get out the door in time to go, but you really were encouraging me. And I was joking that you wanted to get rid of me, but I'm curious, what were your thoughts? You share with me later.
There are, I mean, I know the deep connection that you need with other women. Like, I know how nourishing that is, likewise for me, I need that deep connection with men to really be, it's part of the nourishment that I need, right? Is being with other brothers and doing guy things. And it doesn't mean that there's any less love between the two of us. In fact, if
Yeah.
anything, what I find is it actually, I think when we have some time apart with with guy friends or you with the girlfriends and we come back together, it just strengthens
Well,
everything.
what do you see different in me whenever I come back?
You actually you feel like you're brighter, you're more expanded, you have less that you're carrying. And even when I hold the bucket, right? You've heard us talk about holding the bucket and allowing you to share. It's you've almost like processed a lot of it with your
Mhm.
girlfriend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think that's a big, powerful thing. I brought this up before, and I'm going to brag on her a little bit because I've had the blessing of being able to sit with women who have gone through the sisterhood and listen to their testimonials, and this bond with women, this connection with this deep connection with women, because these were women that had lots of women in their lives, but now they're having a deep connection that they hadn't really experienced before as a
Yeah.
result of the sisterhood.
Well, and
And
it's interesting too because a lot of the women haven't even actually. Hi, Tracy. Hey, Woody. A lot of women they haven't even met before, just like with you with your men's group too. But I think I also know for me, there's just something about being witnessed. I mean, you've heard us talk about that when a woman is when we feel seen, heard, and understood, we there's actually something very validating about that, and where it's just there's something calming to the nervous system for us and of course we want our partners to do that, right? And I talk about that, about how we can evoke that without criticizing
yeah,
you or
yeah,
closing, which will actually shut you down as well. But there's something so beautiful about being able to build each other up and also to give you permission. Speaking of girlfriends, um, speaking of girlfriends, Michelle, I'll call you back. To be able to lift each other up in love,
yeah,
to lift each other up and, with reflections that maybe we didn't see before that we may take differently if our partner brings it up. I'm
yeah.
joking about the zit on my face, right? But I mean, this may seem like a no duh, but I have to be honest with you. There is something to be said about the divine feminine, the sacred feminine, and these buzzwords that you're hearing now. There's a reason why there's G and O's, which for you guys that don't know what that is, that's girls' night out. It's short for girls' night out. We really crave tribe.
Yeah, no, and I want to add a comment to what you said because you were talking about how it seems kind of basic, but a lot of times, so many times, men and women don't experience the impact of this powerful connection with other men and
The
women,
intimacy.
or they have had a small exposure to it and they don't know how to find their tribe. That like they haven't found their tribe. They're searching for their tribe and they're looking for a space to
Yeah.
find their tribe.
Or there's been sister wounds or even brother wounds,
Mm-hmm.
and you may find a woman, or I have found women that that actually get along with they get along with guys better because they were raised maybe with a bunch of brothers, um or they were raised with a bunch of brothers and their dad, they were always picking on each other. And I don't know if you know this or not, but that's the way that men actually will that's the way men will actually build rapport.
Yeah.
I mean, right?
Yeah.
Y'all razz each
Yeah.
other.
Exactly. We'll harass each
Yeah.
other, and yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
And
But we'll also have the deep
of
conversations. But that's a
course.
common thing is to we kind of harass each other.
Well, yeah. Hey, Angie. And Kyle's on here too. I took my glasses off, but there's something to be said about that. I mean, I don't know, ladies that are on here. Maybe you could give me a thumbs down, thumbs up, or state something. I mean, have you been in a partnership before, or maybe even around your father, or even your kids? Maybe they're razzing you and they're treating you like you're one of the guys, and we can toughen up, but it stings a little bit.
Well, and if when we want you in your feminine, toughening up is not exactly
No,
going to lead you there, right?
no.
So yeah, it's recognizing the impact this has. So just as a guy razzing a woman will cause her to toughen up and go more into her masculine because we're treating her like a dude.
Well, it's protective though. We're
It
protecting
is.
ourselves.
It
I mean,
is.
it really is. I actually that brings up a point that there was someone that I went out with way before you, like 7-8 years ago, and he loved like poking me in the side, and it was just like it wasn't. it was really just rude. And I remember that Cameron, my son, would actually started doing that to me as well. It was just,
Mm-hmm.
and it was very confusing because I didn't understand this work back then. I didn't understand why it felt, I mean, it wasn't like he was hurting me physically, but it just didn't feel good.
Yeah.
And I didn't
Yeah.
understand it, right? I didn't understand it because, I mean, you don't see a lot of women. I mean, we may have a pillow fight or two, or we may, run around. Amy, if you're listening, I mean, we like to go, swimming in the beach like mermaids. And there's all kind of fun things we like to do if you're in a really cool sisterhood group where, you like to dance on the beach and you like to blow bubbles and whatever else, but to have deep, deep conversations. But yeah, there's something about just being able to breathe into women that have your best interests at heart. Yeah. And let's face it, I've been involved in a lot of groups here in St. Pete and around the world, literally, whether it be online or not, where there's a lot of gossiping. And even though it's sold as a tribe, or it's Bible study even, there's a lot of gossiping, which is your toxic masculine. Just really not honoring the women that we are. And so, people are saying they want us to come together in solidarity. Yeah. And quite frankly, there's a lot of that not happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So look, it's not that you can't, there are times as men we want to be, there's times as men we want to be witnessed. We want to be seen. We want to be heard. We want to be understood. Because remember, we all have the masculine and the feminine side of us. But it's just an awareness of don't rely on your partner to also be your boyfriend or your girlfriend, whatever that is, right? Don't rely, if you're a woman, don't rely on your partner to be your girlfriend, because it will have an impact on polarity if it continues to happen time after time. And I just want to close by saying, I appreciate so much, because there have been times I've been hit with some news like my dad's cancer or something like that, that really rocked me. And you were just like, you stepped in and you held me and saw me and witnessed me. Yeah. It was beautiful. But if that had been a consistent pattern of, I had a bad day at work or whatever it is, right? Or I felt worn down, it would start to impact the polarity.
No, that's actually a good point. And we were actually with a group of amazing people that, my friend, our friend, Dr. Coach put together, and, different healers and teachers and from around the world. It was so great. And one of the ladies asked about that very thing, when do we hold space for the masculine in our life? And there's this beautiful YouTube that went viral. Maybe I'll link it here, where it's a dad actually holding space for his toddler. And I don't even know if it's a little girl or a little boy. I think Melinda's on here. Melinda, I think I used that in the sisterhood and I showed it, where he's just witnessing this beautiful child just having a meltdown and just holding space, not ridiculing this child, not telling it to stop. Men, by the way, when we're in that space, don't tell us to calm down. Don't tell us to stop crying. As long as our heart's open, by the way. There's definitely art to this. But there's something, where was I going with that? There's something about holding space for men. A lady asked that. She said, when does it come up? And that's a great example. Yeah. And to John's point, if we're always holding space for our men and their feminine when they are being emotional, it is not going to be okay. There's a season for that, and sometimes that season is literally 15 minutes, and maybe it's going to be a couple of days, maybe after you've come off workshop and you need to be nurtured, like our teacher John's talked about. Yeah. So anyway, with that said, as we close up, I know I'm accepting applications for my sisterhood that's starting again in January, but you can go ahead and give yourself the gift of that now, and you get all these bonuses and all the things. Would love to see you come, and I know, can I promote you?
Absolutely.
John actually has moved his group to a Facebook group, and it's a free group. You can hop in, and for ladies, you may be asking, I really want my man to do more conscious awareness work, and he probably would benefit from a men's group. There's an art form to that too. And the Southern girl in me will share this, that you basically are going to drop this hint like you drop a handkerchief in front of him. And you'll simply just say, what would you say?
I'd say, hey, I know, baby, I know that you're.
Mhm.
I'm doing this. Yeah, it's a
I guess,
role play.
yeah.
Yeah, baby, I know you're really interested. You're always, working to be the best for us and to provide for us and to care for us. And there's a resource I think you might love,
Yeah.
of men that'll challenge and support you further in this. And just go to menignited.com and yeah.
Yeah, or I mean, what I would do, because I know when John and I were dating, a lot, he was already so noble in character and so distinguished, and was already leading men's groups and all the things. But I know for me, I did something very similar. I said, this is a book that I think
Yeah.
that really resonated with me, and I actually think it reminds me a lot of you, and I think you may love it. And I forwarded the book. You could do that with this group. It's actually not being manipulative at all. Again, the way we like to think is everything runs through the spectrum of, is the world better
Right.
because you are watching us right now, or
Right.
whatever it is.
Right. Being able to drop that hint.
That hint.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway, guys, thank you. Have a beautiful weekend. Please, DM me, or there's a link here where we can connect. But I would love to talk to you, and I know John would too.
Yeah, and I put absolutely. For men, it's menignited.com. And for those of you interested in hearing more of the stories of the impact that sisterhood has had on other women, we put the video link in the description. You can watch that video. It's a beautiful video if you haven't seen it.
Yeah. Bye, guys. Thank
All
you.
right.